Hello, and welcome back to the Wheel and Chill Show. Hi, everybody. I'm very excited because I used this episode as an excuse to finally watch the Wheel of Time animated shorts, which I had not seen all of them just yet. So I'm glad that I had that excuse, and I'm really excited to talk to you all about them today. So, as usual, we're going to get started by...
Pretty soon we don't have any audio.
Yeah.
No audio. There's audio on mine.
But I heard audio.
No audio on Hybrid Havoc. Do you have Twitch? Let me test.
Are they muted perchance? Like, you know, if they got their stream muted and it's not us.
Oh yeah, no.
That would be hilarious.
That would be really funny. There's audio on YouTube. Just checked. Is your stream muted? Let me check Twitch. Twitch has audio. Hybrid Havoc, I suggest maybe changing your audio output source. Check the volume button. Make sure you're not muted.
Plug in your headphones.
I'm sorry. I just checked them both. They're both running. So
sorry about the interruption, but I just wanted to make sure we're good.
No, you're fine. I appreciate it.
Smart.
Very smart. Before we get started, no worries, Hybrid Havoc. We're happy you're here. So without. Honestly, if it's not me, now it's you guys. Like, I had everything right. But I have in the past messed up, like, whenever I'm recording YouTube videos by not recording audio, and then I'm just like, I have to redo that whole take. So, I've made audio mistakes in the past. Okay, so. We are here to talk about the Wheel of Time animated shorts, and I'm very excited to introduce our guest for this week, Rob, with MalkierTalks, who all of his deets, or any deets that I could find, are in the discussion of this episode. And as usual, I'm going to ask Rob to just kind of introduce himself, let you know if he's got any projects in the works, and basically just plug himself, because that's probably why he's here tonight.
As I said this before, that's absolutely not why I'm here. I'm here to wheel and chill. Like, you know, I keep seeing this and watching it and enjoying it. I'm like, I want some of that. So, you know.
We're happy to have you.
Good answer.
But, you know, if you don't know who I am, I'm Rob, MalkierTalks. I get around a little bit. I do a few bits and pieces. You know, biggest things I do, jokes on Twitter. I do Wheel of Time jokes. And funny you should say if I'm going to plug anything. I'm doing a joke competition soon. It starts. Make sure I get the right date here. The announcement will come soon. I'm going to put a little video out. Let me check my calendar. I think it starts on Sunday 23rd, like next weekend at least. At some point next weekend, the Tam Joke Competition, Volume 3, begins.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm working on that.
Very cool.
That comes out next weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You said the 23rd, right?
I think Sunday the 23rd, or is that Saturday?
That would be 2 weekends or 2 weeks. To make sure that you're getting up, make sure that people show up when they need to show up.
Yeah, no, that's next weekend, isn't it?
Oh, it's the 10th now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Wait,
so
no,
that's
this
2 weeks.
No. I know where we go now. This is an American Brit thing. So when I say next weekend, I don't mean the weekend of this current week. I mean
You mean a fortnight?
week. Yeah. So yeah.
An
We
important
just learned
distinction.
something.
Yes, I have an American roommate, and I'd be like, "Oh, we'll do this next weekend." They think it's like 4 days away. I'm like, "No, I'm talking like 11 days away." So yeah, that's what I mean, folks. There we go.
So next weekend for any Americans.
Next weekend, yeah. So.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yep, and that's that's a lot of fun, and I do the YouTubing as well. I have a weekly show. I do other things, cooking and narrations, a lot of fun, and I do a weekly IEL show, Threefold Talk, and that's where the Tam Joke competition will actually finish up. It's coincide with that, but that's a huge amount of fun. We do stab ratings, we do IEL talk, we do silly segments, we book reviews, all sorts of things, all Wheel of Time related. So. That's a lot of fun. I do other bits and pieces. There's a podcast in there and all sorts of crazy things, but I could be here for hours if I kept going. So those are the big ones.
Okay. Well, there are a
Well, I
lot.
have a question for you real quick.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Rob, you do some cooking, right?
I do some cooking, yes.
I have seen your honey cake video,
Ah,
and I've tried your recipe.
have
And
you?
it is lovely. I have. I very much enjoyed it.
Awesome.
I wonder, what are your thoughts about episode 1 where Tam says bread
Oh,
instead of honey cakes? I mean,
Oh God.
yeah. I was like, where's the
Just-
honey cakes? I mean, that's the perfect
Okay.
breakfast just meal there. I was very
Yes.
disappointed. I mean, I'm sure Marinov there bakes amazing bread. You know, no
For
doubt
sure.
about it.
Without a
but
doubt.
sure.
It's not honey cakes. So I was.
Yeah.
That's why I have
Yeah.
not made bread for Wheel of Time, because it's, I was disappointed that it appeared there. So, but I did make the Tinker Curry that Perrin apparently is sick of having. So
Oh,
That's a good sign. I
Yum.
guess.
Yeah.
yeah,
There we
and
go.
it's good. Well, at least
Love
my
it.
version I made.
Yeah.
So.
I guess
Need
the,
to try that.
the takeaway here
I'm
is
gonna go back
hashtag
through-
where's the honey cakes.
But yeah, yeah. Come on, Wraith. Wraith,
back
put
to
honey
all
cakes
our
in it. Come on.
recordings.
What tavern?
I'm gonna go back through all our recordings to see how many times Winespring brings up the honey cake issue.
'Cause it's not
Every time.
not that
It's like
many.
I
It's
want
a
to say
few.
it's almost. I want to say it's almost every episode, but I'm not sure. I have to go look.
It's every episode.
It's
Nice, nice.
oh man. Okay. Let's
Oh, crying.
I've not been looking at the multi-stream chat. I only see Twitch, so that's good. Good evening,
Right.
Fizzle Kick. What's up? Honey Cake Bake Off on Wheel and Chill asks Hybrid Havoc. That feels
Oh.
like kind of an awesome idea.
do it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
Um,
looks-
It does
smells
sound like
good.
fun. And we do that.
So sorry,
Cake
I've only been looking at the Twitch chat up until just this moment. Thank you guys all for being here. Really appreciate it. I guess I did make a mistake like I always do. So we got that one out of the way early. Thankfully.
I am the king of doing technical hiccups. So
Okay.
I feel your pain, and it's also entertaining to know it's not me for a change.
Well, it's always me. on this, the technical errors come from this one and this one only for the most part, which is nice. At least I'm consistent, right? Okay, so more introductions. More Winespring. Why don't you introduce yourself? We've got a little bit of your. We know that you're a cook, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, hey, I'm Winespring Cafe on Twitter and Instagram. And if you go to winespringcafe.com, you can check out recipes dedicated to the Wheel of Time. They're there for your enjoyment. Go make them and let me know if you did. Please.
Link in the discussion on YouTube, or the description, not the description.
Yes.
Whatever.
It's my turn to say it. Go there now.
Go there. Go there now.
winespringcafe.com.
Go there now.
All right, Tavern. What about you? What you got going on?
Okay, so Tavern. I am on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram a little bit, some YouTube. I sell merch on Redbubble, so if you have not seen my merch, look up Tavern on Redbubble. Lots of stuff there, cool stuff. I think it's cool. Other people have bought it.
Super cool. I own some pieces.
It's very cool.
I'm a big fan.
So thank you. And I can vouch for Winespring's recipes. Everything we've made off her website is delicious.
Delicioso. I can agree. I've only made one
Good
thing because I am
words.
not a chef, but I made this dip and it was awesome. So
Oh, I'm still
love
waiting
it.
for that mac and cheese recipe. That's all I'm saying.
Huh. Let me make a note.
Mac and cheese.
I'll write that shit down right now.
I don't want to forget.
yeah, what was the theme in the mac and cheese again? I forgot.
Was the what?
What was the theme? It can't just be mac and cheese.
What will the theme be?
It
We
has
haven't
to
come up
Thank
with
you,
something
Kritter.
yet.
Mac
Oh.
and cheese.
Hey,
Oh,
live
okay,
chat, help me do that.
Right. Yeah,
We
come
need
on,
a
live chat.
name for the mac and cheese.
Right, mac and
I
cheese.
need your help.
Wow. I feel like it needs to be a pairing of like two awesome things. Like mac and cheese is a great pairing, so you'd have to theme it
Yeah.
after two things that pair really well. I don't know.
I'm,
We don't have to do it live. We can go.
Yeah, no,
Okay, we'll think about it, we'll think about it.
We're all gonna say it
No
like this.
pressure.
Like that, no pressure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the follow, Dopard Chew on Twitch. Very much. Matt and cheese. See, the meme more. I thought like Matt is the
Max and
obvious.
cheese. Oh,
Matt is the obvious
yeah.
like choice for the first part of it, but then cheese.
Yes.
Like, what Wheel of Time thing rhymes with or sounds like or is cheese? You know what I mean?
Hey, do you use cheddar in your mac and cheese?
Yes, absolutely. Sharp.
So something remotely close to snakes and ladders, like something in cheddars. I don't know what it would be. I don't know
We'll figure
enough
it out.
about pasta.
We will figure it out. They have wheel pasta.
Recipe coming soon.
That's a good point. They have wheel pasta.
Oh, they do.
Oh yes.
So something. Okay.
You guys are awesome.
I've done
Took me
this
so many
sometimes.
notes.
Yeah. Live chat is such a goldmine, really. I sometimes have live chat when I record the podcast, and I haven't done that for quite some time. But
Light mac and cheese.
yeah, it's sometimes you can just be talking about something. A live chat goes on this whole trail of like, oh, you could do this, or you could do that, and then suddenly
it's so
they're
exciting.
throwing ideas into the discussion, and it's so much fun. So yeah, you should
Yeah,
absolutely try
that
and get them
was super fun.
to help you make dishes live. It's a lot of fun.
Sand
Perfect.
Dan
Oh,
Glockus
we're gonna
T
try that.
says macaroni and cheese. That's pretty good. I like that a lot.
Funny.
Okay,
Oh,
so
awesome.
I haven't gotten a chance to introduce myself yet, and I'm kind of mad about it. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
Welcome, Roger Duran. It's, yeah, you're not really that late. We're just kind of still introducing ourselves. I am Kritter XD. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Twitter. I'm Egwene Elvira, also on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and right now on my TikTok, I'm doing a giveaway because I'm in the sprint for 10,000 followers. I want them. I'm at like 9,300 something right now. I'm getting there. I just hit 9,000 last week, so I'm excited
Amazing.
about it. So if you go to my TikTok and you find there's one that says like giveaway time or whatever. If you're like scrolling through my profile, you'll be able to find it. You gotta like it, comment on it, and make sure you're following me. And if you don't have a TikTok yet, let me tell you, you're probably better off. But no, you're not. It is incredibly addicting, but it's also really fun. It's a really fun place. So I recommend that you create a TikTok account so you can enter my giveaway for Robert Jordan's The World of the Wheel of Time, which is what I'm giving away. If you want, I can sign it and personalize it. But I'm not that famous, so it's fine if you just want the standard copy. Like I'm just here to send you a book if you want it. But I could sign it if you wanted me
I'm
to.
out of here.
Creme Berlane. Wow, Sith guy, that's fancy. Creme Berlane.
That's a French version of mac and cheese.
Yeah. I mean, I
like
honestly
it.
no. Is that not creme brulee, creme berlane?
Ooh,
You know?
that is better. I think that's better.
So how are you going to make that? Oh wait, no book spoilers. Damn it!
Okay,
I
wait
was
a
going to
minute.
describe what she's like.
Aha.
Yeah, no
I'm
book
taking so
spoilers
many
yet.
notes.
No book spoilers yet. So enter my
But-
giveaway on TikTok and follow me because I want to get to 10,000 followers soon because I am type A,
Wash it out.
goal-oriented weird person, and that's what I want right now. So that's it. All right, so
Let's get it
Let's get
for
it.
you. Woo!
We're here to talk about the animated shorts at long last, about 13 minutes into the stream, because we are the greatest. And really good at
professionals.
focusing up on the task at hand. And here comes the content. Oh, Hybrid Havoc. That's I love Bo Burnham. All right. So first, sorry, I'm ADD as hell right now. All right, so first animated short. Let's get moving. Okay, I think what we're gonna do format-wise is talk about each animated short for about 10 minutes, and then move on. And there are 6 of them, which should take about an hour. And then for the last 20 minutes or so, because this is gonna be a 90-minute stream, we're going to go full book spoilers. So until then, it's only show/animated short spoilers, and we might contextualize the animated shorts with nothing that's a spoiler with respect to the plot. But yeah, so no worries about like plot-based book spoilers. And then at the end, we're going to round everything up because there's some things I want to talk about with the shorts that require book spoilers. And then I'll tell non-book readers to GTFO, and then we're going to open up the floodgates. So yeah, let the carnage... So just saying.
By the way, Winespring, you need to be recording chat right now because they are just throwing in so many food ideas. This is
I'm
hilarious.
taking so many notes. I'm just like typing and nodding over. You guys are awesome in chat right now.
Winter on the Web, followed on TikTok. Thank you.
I'm really happy with the fail
How did
awful.
this happen?
Yeah, the fail awful is great. That's
Fail
brilliant.
awful
man.
I'm
was
sorry,
amazing.
fail awful. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Fail
Yeah.
awful.
And we
Come
got
on.
a follower on TikTok. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, thank
Yay.
you. It's happening. All right.
Yay.
So the breaking of the world, short one. I think I have an image. We have some images. So let me. Oh, this is actually the coolest image. I think the most
Breaking the
iconic,
World.
without a doubt.
The first one.
Yeah, Breaking of the World is the first animated short. So how did you guys? Let's start with Rob because you are our guest. How did you feel about this one?
Oh, pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, no, I love all of the shorts. I think the style of animation is what I liked. I mean, the content was really cool. It was really interesting. I found it really intriguing, like some of the things they were talking about. But I love the style of animation that they've used. It felt very gritty.
Yeah.
Almost like they were. It was like a recording made when the shorts were done, back in the Breaking of the World, using this example, that is then just sat there and like faded slightly over the ages, and is it's not the best quality, the most amazing thing. There's almost a fuzziness to it or something, made it feel very gritty and earthy and very realistic in terms of how it would age over all that time, sort of thing. At least that's how it felt to me. So yeah, this one it's a super cool picture. It's very dramatic. Who doesn't love a dramatic picture? But,
I know I do.
I totally
the
agree
animation.
about the animation style. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to see like the whole book series in this animation style. I like it so much.
It's like they took paintings, like different variations of paintings, and then they did like a stop motion with them to make it look animated, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I do enjoy this whole style. It was really cool.
Like the graininess. Yeah, I just you guys have basically said all the things I was going to say. Also, I guess the lighting, like especially in like this one with, Dragon Mount, and like they're all very kind of dark, which is cool because again, it's, you assume it faded over time, and a lot of the subject matter here is kind of dark. So I loved it. So subject matter, speaking of, here we have presumably the dragon, right, at the breaking. Am I remembering my weekend watch right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh my
gosh. That's Loose Theron, if I'm not mistaken.
I
Yes.
love the fact you're like, I finally had an excuse to watch some Wheel of Time content. You need an excuse, Kritter?
No, I tell you
a
what,
small little
busy.
call out there.
for a while there, it was like, I'm not complaining. For a while there, it was like a fire hose. You know what I mean? Literally, I could not keep up with like all the stuff on Twitter, like all the previews for the episodes that were coming out. So basically, I was waiting to watch this before I did this. Before I made content about it, I didn't want to like watch months in advance. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know I'm the worst for waiting this long, but here we are, and now we're talking about it. So
You're forgiven. You're forgiven.
You have no toe.
Thank you.
There you go.
We've got some people in the chat. I do think the art style is cool for the animated shorts, but I'm not sure if I would like that style for a full series. Hard to judge, though, says Hybrid Havoc. I think like the darkness might get, like I would want some like extreme light moments to balance out the darkness. Probably these are like the most
absolutely.
dramatic.
They would give that to us for sure.
They 100%.
I will say,
I agree.
if they took this story and used the same art style that they used for Arcane,
yeah,
I think it would be ridiculous. If you haven't watched Arcane, it's on Netflix. It's amazing.
I have not yet.
It's very unique art style. You would, if you look at it, you'll be like, yeah, that would be sick if they did that with Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I guess we have another image here, which is Jessica Zadai said, didn't expect to like the shorts as much as I did, but yeah, would love to see more. I know. I wonder if the reason there was only 6 is because of COVID, or if there were only ever going to be 6. Obviously, the more the merrier, in my opinion. But okay, so they talked about the breaking, and every time I do this, it's like always different. So I'm gonna do.
And we keep swapping spots.
Zooming in.
Yeah,
So,
I do love the way that
two of
Tavern and
you-
Winespring keep like jumping
Like why?
every time you flick.
Here on the Wheel and Chill Show, we call that magic.
Yeah.
Actually, okay. So this image, there's 3 images that I captured. This one, and this goes with what I was saying before the show, that I do believe that this particular short is the breaking of the world, right? So we get the breaking, and then we get the moments or the time just after the breaking. And there were 3 things that I saw. This image is what seems to be a caravan, which I think is the Tinkers. It's kind of like the start of the Tinkers. I remember in the books, well, I can't talk about the books, But anyways, the Tinker started off shortly after the breaking, right? And we'll just leave it at that. And I think that's what this is. There's a shot of some people with low-lying tents around campfires and stuff, which I think represents the Aiel.
Yeah, it could.
And I forgot what the third shot was. I had another shot, and I don't remember what it was, but I think it had to do... Oh, yeah, there was a shot of a woman with a horse, and it was from the same short. This is all from the first short.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring this up. Again, this is right after the breaking, right? Because, and somebody tell me if I'm, like I normally do, get crazy thoughts, but does it not look like there's a sapling in the saddle of that horse?
Those look like arrows to me, but I don't see a bow, so... You know, I don't know.
I mean, I'm looking at it, and it almost looks like a sapling, because if it's an Aes Sedai, she wouldn't have a bow.
You're not wrong.
So that's just a thought. That's just a thought. Anyways, those are the three images that really stuck out to me in the first animated short.
Yeah.
So you think this is an Aes Sedai here?
I think, well, without getting into spoilers, we'd have to talk about it later.
Okay.
It's a woman with a sapling. At least
Okay.
that's my interpretation.
All right.
Fair enough.
I can't wait for spoiler section.
I know, I'm
Awesome.
really curious. I think, so the one that you said was Tinkers, which is a good interpretation, I think. For me, the over the text, like, that was going on here was like, I think it was like, you know, people scattered or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Immeasurable loss.
Yeah, and
You know?
so for me, like, for everyone in my TikTok comments that was like, how dare the Two Rivers people be white? Like,
Those fabulous
or
people.
not, you know, how dare they're not white? I can't believe they're not white. Whatever, like, every time they said that, I was like, why would they be white? You know what I mean? Like, the breaking of the world, which we learn about in the short, thank God, involved, like, first of all, the Age of Legends was an incredibly advanced time, you know, like, presumably we had like, people were integrated, like, it wasn't and so the fact that happened, and then there were like people migrating all over the place, and then we landed on Manetheren, right, which was also an incredibly advanced society, but it was built from like all of these migrants. In my mind, it's like, yeah, they're gonna be diverse, so shut the hell up. So this picture, I really liked this picture a lot, because it was kind of like, there, everybody's migrating around. It's post Age of Legends. Why would the Two Rivers people all be white? There's no reason. So, you're welcome. And
Case closed. We're
and
done.
thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay. Rob, did anything else from this particular short stand out to you?
Not that hasn't been covered. I have spoiler thoughts. But
okay.
I will save those, obviously. It's just so weird. So my shows are like 99% of the time spoiler filled, and this is so weird to be like, I can't spoil anything.
We will. We'll
I'm
get
trying.
there.
I'm trying.
I'm tell you right now,
I'll make it through.
if you start even heading in that direction, the chat will let you know.
Oh yeah, I know. I've
heading
already
into
seen like
spoiler
Witch from the Web,
territory.
like dangerous spoiler territory. So yeah.
They will not mess around.
Let's see. Random Noman asks, is this the excuse for not doing the prologue? I think we're gonna get the prologue. We're just not gonna get it yet. But
Yeah,
maybe.
I agree on that one.
Maybe. I mean,
You do think so, even after seeing this?
Yeah, because not everyone's watching them. I think they have to understand that not everyone who watches the show is gonna watch the bonus content. And they did the Age of Legends light, or they teased, they showed us the Age of Legends.
For sure.
And
Oh
so
my gosh, yeah.
they showed us what built up to the prologue. And so I think the next step, maybe for season 2, or maybe some other flashback in some other season, God forbid we have to wait that long, we're gonna get the prologue. Do you it sounds like you agree, Rob?
Yeah, I think we're getting it. I don't know. I feel like we're getting it as the opening to season 2, just the prologue.
Ooh, yeah, I
Episode
hope you're right.
season 2,
I want everything.
cold open with a bang. Like, okay, we've been gone. You haven't seen us since Christmas. Here's a hell of a cold open for you. Still won't be the number 1 cold open in my book, but you know.
Episode
Okay,
7,
so-
cold open for life. For life.
Oh, yeah.
When do you
live.
think? All right, a question though. When do you think we're going to get that cold open? Because rumor mill has it that the time is getting pushed back due to Lord of the Rings release issues.
I mean, what does that mean, though? I assumed it wouldn't get released when Lord of the Rings got released. It's going to get released
No, I mean
after.
exactly. It should be the same time that we got it this time, right? This
Yeah.
is normally how it goes. Apparently, Lord of the Rings is, I don't know if they're having issues or whatever. It's getting pushed back. So
Really? I didn't
really
hear that
pissed.
the September date's not the date
Like
anymore.
I said, it's rumor mills is why I put that out there. I saw it on one of the Facebook groups.
Well, then you know it's real.
Well, no, that's why
I
I'm saying
think I'm
rumor.
gonna stop listening.
If I saw it on Twitter, I'd be like, okay, it's for sure. I stated rumor mill. You know, I bring you all the news that's not fit for anything.
Okay, fair
Pretty
enough.
good about that.
So Tavern heard it in the corner, the seedy corner of the tavern, where even
Yes.
the bouncers are scared to go, type thing.
My description on
He goes there for
says,
us.
Rumors
Yes.
are all welcome.
Okay.
Discussion. Anyways, moving on.
It's true.
We have talked a lot about what we thought the cold open for season 2 was going to be, and no one guessed. I don't think, if I'm remembering right, anybody guessed the prologue. So that is, we'll put you down. We'll write you down.
Put me down for the prologue. Yeah, put me down for it.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Nobody said the prologue.
Not that I remember. No.
I don't remember that.
Okay, so we got to move on. We got to keep this going so we can get into
Interessante.
non-spoiler whatever. Is somebody asking how to find these? It sounds like maybe. If they are, let me explain. This is on X-Ray, but X-Ray is now much easier to find. Basically, you can just go to the Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime anywhere, whether it's on your Roku or Apple TV or your desk or your browser, and it's listed as episode 0. There's a bunch of episode 0s, and they're all in there, so easy to find. Let's see.
Or if you start one of the episodes, it'll say X-Ray, and then it'll have a list like bonus content, whatever. Just click on bonus content, and it'll pop up.
That's another way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Gosh, Roger Dern, I hope you're wrong. I'm guessing season 2 is early 2023, January, February. I want another November release. I loved that, and I don't want it to be later.
Really nice timing.
It was good timing. It's right before Christmas. Are you kidding me? That's beautiful.
Although having the last episode release on Christmas Eve, I would choose that to be slightly different, just for like personal reasons. But yeah, other than that, big fan.
Yeah, it was.
Got anything going on that night?
All the post-show stuff was, everyone's trying to like put out content. It's like, it's Christmas Day.
Literally.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I think my recap video was posted on Christmas morning because I did it and then I was editing it on Christmas Eve. We were watching Don't Look Up actually at my husband's mom's house, and I didn't get to watch Don't Look Up closely the first time because I was over here just editing this this excellent video that you should go watch on my YouTube.
Very awesome video.
Grammy nominated.
And then I scheduled it to release the next morning. Surely everyone's gonna stop their Christmas Day plans to watch this. Spoiler alert, they did not. So,
in my defense, Jessica Sadai said that she saw Scuttlebutt about the push for Lord of the Rings Day. So,
I hope it's not true.
Thank you, Jessica Sadai.
Maybe we will flip some slots with them. That would be cool. Oh, that is Will Ev. Good point on YouTube. Perfect to give the books as Christmas gifts to family that watches. So true.
Yes.
It was well timed. Yes.
Okay, we have got to start talking about the second
all right,
one. Episode 2.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not helping. I'm a king of tangents. So
no, same. I'm all about the chat. It's just what is everyone saying? Let's talk about Lord of the Rings. What?
Let's talk to our friends.
Yeah, literally. Okay, so the fall of Manetheren. We heard about the fall of Manetheren in episode 2, and Rosamund Pike just nailed it. I was trying to think of a more
better thing than nailed
slayed?
it. Yes.
She slayed. She killed it. Whatever I could say, flattering. That's what it was. So. Fall of Manetheren, gorgeous. I think I have some shots in here that I can share. Oh yeah, the iconic one. I think this is the thumbnail for it. Is King?
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Aemon.
Aemon. Yeah.
King Aemon, yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say layman, but that's wrong.
He's like King, whatever his name is.
So
Yeah,
King,
no tree killers, please.
no tree killers. You have to admit, though, those two sound really familiar. So, yeah. So King Aemon, he, we heard all about what happened in the show. So basically, we just got to see it, which I thought it was beautiful. Winespring, did you have any like standout thoughts about this one?
I agree. It was absolutely stunning. I loved getting to see it in this animation story we've talked about, and really the ending kind of like brought tears to my eyes so much. Like not necessarily the queen part, but when the child is picking up the broken crown, just implying that the wheel keeps turning. That was just so heavy. I actually thought of Dana and Dana's speech when that happened.
Remind us of the speech.
Like she's talking about just being like just exhausted from the turning of the wheel. Like it's not a great turning every time for everybody, and they're ready to break it. Like they're over this like experience that's happening. And just seeing a broken crown, a child, I just kind of thought of Dana and the people that are over the turning.
That's a really good connection that I did not make. I don't think we have a screenshot of the little kid picking up the crown, but it was neat. And you have to assume that that's like, picture that being like Matt Cawthon or something, like,
oh my gosh,
because it's like the right area. Like, how sweet is that?
Yes.
Rob, did anything stand out for you from this one?
It was, I think this is the first time I've ever seen anything made where I was like, this is what was in my head.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I envisioned pretty much any of it different in any kind of way. And that kind of blew my mind. And just right now, this has popped into my head, so I'm going to say it. Someone needs to, all right, I don't think Amazon going to like it or allow you to put it on YouTube or anything, but someone needs to take this short and put the audio from them singing in the show over the top in a very ethereal way.
I got chills.
And, the tears that you would get from it, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
If you do that, if anyone does that, tag us in it.
Yeah.
I want to see it. I don't want to miss that. Please.
I just see you uploading it to YouTube and then Amazon being like, yeah, never mind.
No, see it before they take it
They
down.
don't look for your shit on TikTok, so I'm just gonna say it might happen on Twitter or TikTok.
Yeah, do it on TikTok. There we go, Tavern. Yeah, I love it.
I was just gonna say.
Sometimes my trailer reaction lost audio of all things. Like one of my the teaser trailer reaction from TikTok was like, you think you're going to use this audio? No.
Here's the good thing about this, right? Here's the cool thing about that idea. You don't have to use the audio from their show. Why? Because a gazillion content creators re-sang it.
Yes.
I thought that's what Rob was talking about. I assume that's what Rob was talking about. Yeah.
You don't use the show audio. You don't use the show audio.
Okay.
But I was thinking like they would recognize the short footage. So that's what I was thinking.
The visual.
Yeah, but listen, I'm not gonna worry about it.
We'll see what happens.
They'll yell at me. What are they gonna do?
Whatever. Like, it's not a big deal.
I love this idea.
Same.
This particular shot right here that we're looking at, Kritter has a whole nother thing that is going to show up in this, that is probably going to pop up in the spoiler.
It is.
This.
Wait for it.
This is what I was telling you. We've only seen this once. Well, twice, actually. We've seen this image twice in the animated short. Two, the only time we see an Aes Sedai do something like this is Nynaeve with her power bomb of freaking medicinal crap at the end of episode 4.
She's no Aes Sedai. Come on.
It doesn't matter. That's almost identical to the special effects that they use for Nynaeve.
It is, yeah. So we're
Almost
suggesting
identical.
like she's like untrained, maybe? Like, is that what you're? So basically,
No.
like
It's not what I'm suggesting is the amount of power.
Oh, okay.
As we know from the story of Manetheren, she channeled so much that she basically destroyed the armies of the Dark One in one fell swoop, right? According to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's power. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of channeling power.
Yeah.
And for Nynaeve to pull the same effect and basically heal everybody, something.
I messed up. As usual.
I freaked out. I was like, what happened?
No, it was me. My bad. I was like, oh, I want to go see. I'm sorry. I wanted to just say before we like move on that if I was gonna go look to make sure I knew whose name it was, but I'm pretty sure I'm remembering right that Maurice Sadai is the one that put together the Chorus of Time. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. So look for her YouTube because it's incredible. If you haven't seen it yet, they sang El Nato. I don't know how to pronounce it. And it literally brought me to tears. So check that shit out if you haven't yet.
Yes, it's
Very
beautiful.
impressive.
So that's what I was getting at with this, is the amount of power and the similarity between Nynaeve and her name was Eldrine?
Queen Eldrine, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of when I saw it.
That's cool. Yeah, and I have something else that it reminded me of that will be in the spoiler section, so stand by. Yeah, Maurice had it on her YouTube. I don't know if anybody else has it on their YouTube. I know it debuted on the Dusty Wheel last week, and it was amazing. Thank you, Jessica Sadai. Yes, Maurice Sadai is the one that's got it, like, the original or whatever on hers, so pretty amazing. All right, so we kind of, like, got the Manetheren... We got walk through Manetheren in the show. Incredible, like one sequence, everyone riding their horses, whatever, and then we got to see it. So I don't know how much more there is to say about this one other than spoiler section. Anybody else got anything before we move on? No. Okay, next.
Next.
The Greatest Warder. So this one I felt like was a bit of a tease. Did book readers feel the same? I can't really say why.
Yeah.
Yet.
This sounds like a poll opportunity, Kritter.
Oh, I'm so freaking bad. I don't even know how to do polls. Do I have to get on YouTube to do polls? Hold on.
No, you do it in Studio. YouTube Studio.
I'm not
You
in
can
YouTube.
do it in the chat. You can do it in
there we
the chat.
go.
You type /poll.
Okay, here we go. Well, I think I can only do... Wait, all right. You know what? We're going to figure this out. I gotta turn...
We'll talk
I
while
can
do
teach
that.
you
I'll do
later.
that.
I'll teach you later. It's easy.
So I don't do it in the YouTube chat? No.
No,
Why?
you do it. Yeah,
No,
in
it's
YouTube Studio. Yeah.
Okay, guys,
Oh,
let me
you can
just
do it on YouTube.
ask any book readers without saying why.
Thumbs up.
Put
There.
into the chat, thumbs up or down, or just say yes or no. Did you find the Greatest Warder to be a tease from something that we heard about in the books? We'll talk about more why once we get to the spoiler section. I found it to be a tease. Yes or no,
Was a
thumbs up or thumbs
literary-
down. Was it a tease?
The literary thirst trap.
Okay, we're all Tavern. What, you agree? We're all thumbs upping
Yes.
here.
Oh, wait, where's my camera? Yes, thumbs up.
Where's my camera?
I don't know. Because I'm watching the scene over here. I don't know.
We're literally on a live stream right now. You're not aware of your camera. Wow.
There. It's there.
All right. We'll talk about why, but there was something they could have done that would have been fire. It would have been the best. It would have been the best animated
There you
short,
go.
maybe. Like, I like the Manetheren one a lot too. But if they would have done it, it would have been like on par, maybe a little bit, with the episode 7 cold open. Obviously not nearly as cool, but it would have been cool. But they didn't do it. And so yeah, I guess like Rob, you disagree?
That's a mighty high.
Well,
like
as far as
on par with episode
as
7
far
cold
as
open, like,
animated or as far as animated shorts go, you know, because
As
it
the
it would have been the
six
best
shorts.
animated short.
would have been the
yes.
best animated short.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you that.
So yeah, obviously it wouldn't. I mean, obviously, like
Right next to the heater.
I don't even.
Random. Your camera's right next to the heater.
That's such a cool heater, Tavern.
That's it. From now on, every time I come across you, like in a chat or anything, I'll be like, oh, "You're the dude with the heater." You know?
The heater guy. It's in
All
the
right.
shape of a
That's
suppository.
perfect.
So
What?
All right.
Nothing.
Did you?
Does it classify as fan service?
other than it,
I took that as a heater joke, and I'm sure it's a reference to the short
I
instead.
did too. It can go either way. Maybe Will F. Was that
Oh my
supposed to be
gosh.
about Tavern's
Good timing.
Mike looking like a heater, or was it about the Warder one? Because I feel like the Warder one would have been
crying.
better fan service if we would have done the thing that was in the book.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to even see if I have an animated like did I take a screenshot from this or did I just not? Oh, there
You
we go. I
did?
did.
Okay.
I did. Here we go.
It's like a split second.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. They did a split second, which was like totally teasing. Ridiculous.
Yep. So, does anyone have anything else to say about this before we talk about what it was supposed to be?
I mean, it gives you a good example of the training warders go through. Or it sort of,
Yeah, it
like,
felt
look
really
into it.
intense.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. That's a good point.
Especially the line of like respect the wielder, not the weapon. That might not be the right wording there exactly, but
Oh,
yeah,
that's nice.
just it was a nice insight into how the warders are trained, how they think, sort of like their mantra for life, or you know, sort of just the way they look at fighting. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And
For
it
sure.
seems like
That's fair.
like some of these warders in training are like super young. Like the guy right there on the right, just the way they're drawn, they just look super young, right? And when he talks, he sounds really young. So it's kind of it kind of goes to what we talked about earlier, where I think all of these shorts take place right after the breaking or shortly after the breaking. They're trying to rebuild, so maybe they're replenishing their ranks. I'm not really sure, but it just that's how it came across to me.
Yeah.
You had the one older guy and then a bunch of young, sort of like the young. Well, I can't say it. Young recruited orders that are training.
That's right, Jessica said I no book spoilers in the chat yet, right? We will have a significant, longer than usual spoiler portion at the end. So
Yes.
And Will got back to us. It was about the border short. It was not about the heat
Thank God.
but it still
it worked either way.
Such good timing.
It was getting a little warm in here. That's all I'm saying.
I scooted it a little bit. All right, so cool. That one was, I think, in my mind, probably the weakest one. I assume, did that come out around episode 4 or 5? Because that was when a lot of the Warder stuff picked up in the show.
Believe so.
Yeah, I don't remember. But
because they didn't all come out in order. I don't like. They didn't come out with each consecutive episode. I don't think.
Yeah, I think they came out like a little after. I can't. Again, I wasn't watching them as they were coming out because I am a bad Wheel of Time fan, as we've established. So.
No, what I'm saying is, if they came out with the episode. So like episode 1 had first animated short, but not every episode had an animated short.
Right.
So I'm not sure if this one, The Greatest Warder, came out with episode 4, or whatnot. So I'm not really sure.
All right, it'll remain a mystery then. Okay, so the fourth one, we had Saidin, Saidar, Stone. So I don't know what the hell Stone was supposed to refer to unless I'm misremembering. Again, that one I actually watched while the show was coming out, and this is why. A lot of people were upset with me in my TikTok comments, which is why I do a lot of my research, because they didn't think there was a difference between Saidar and Saidin in the show. Because, like, it looked like Logain could see Nynaeve's weaves or whatever. Like, you remember that controversy.
Yes.
And so this was like, no, they're two different things. K-fam, which I appreciated. I do wish maybe they would have just given us a little bit more in the show to, like, further explain that. But I do like showing, not telling. So if it would have amounted to, like, Moraine doing a little dialogue about how Saidar and Saidin works, then that probably wouldn't have been as effective. How do you guys feel about this animated short? Rob, do you have any thoughts?
This one was confusing.
Okay, sure.
Because of the title.
Right.
Like it's like when you read a book and you're like, oh, you're being set up for this, and then it's like, actually, we're going to give you half of that, or we're going to do something completely different, and you're not, the promise is not being fulfilled. It's a way Brandon likes to look at his writing. It's like you set up for a promise, and then if you don't deliver, people feel unsatisfied. The title intrigued me because I was like, oh, what's the stone part? What's going on here? And then it didn't deliver, and I felt very confused. I'm like, what's going on?
I am confused.
I understood yeah, exactly. I understood the powers part, but I was like, where does the stone? And it left me feeling unfulfilled. So this was actually my least favorite of the shorts.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Theory.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
So, can you bring up the image with the river and the little ball of light or whatever?
Yeah, fam. I actually had that up, and I was like,
the orb.
What is
that
this
one
supposed to be? So
okay.
Here we go.
So this is when she's explaining about Saidin and Saidar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how Saidar is turbulent, where Saidin is more flowing. And so you have that depicted here on the left. You have Saidin on the right. You have Saidar. I thought was really curious was that they have Saidar as white, Saidin as black in the imagery, right? You have light and dark.
Mhm.
What I got from this about the stone is when she says that the river, right, just like the source, goes together till it hits Tarvalon and splits, right? The river splits around Tarvalon and becomes two separate things. So I thought that the stone was Tarvalon, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever except for the river. Because there's no stone separating Saidin from Saidar. They're just two separate things. It's the one source, but it's two separate things. So I don't know if they're saying that there's something that splits them at a certain point.
Maybe.
But I don't know what that is because I get the river. I get the river splits at Tarvalon. I get that, but I don't know about the source. So I just like this image because of the fact that it was basically backwards, where Saidin is usually dark with the fang and Saidar is usually light with the flame. Here they have it mixed, and it actually contradicts. Well, it doesn't really contradict. It was the dark one, about whatever we're calling him from the last episode, where he's trying to get Rand to basically will into being Joya and the whole Egwin thing, and he's like, just let it flow into you or flow with Saidin, which is completely opposite of what you should be doing because Saidin you have to fight, right? Every second of the way, it's turbulent. I think he was that's part of what we talked about with the episode 8 where he was trying to trick him into either burning out or totally screwing some shit up. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. And as for the stone, that's all I can think of. It was, according to the river, maybe Tarvalon was the stone in the middle that was splitting it, but I don't know how that would be with the source.
If I'm being honest, I didn't know this. The title of this thing had the word stone in it until I went in to do screenshots because I was doing it while I was riding the exercise bike, so I'm like on the remote kind of flipping through and like, oh, there's the Saidar one, press play. And then when I came up here to like do screenshots, I was like, a stone? And I was like, it was the stone of Tyr in this? Like, I don't even know, like, what the hell this is. So I agree. The stone, very, very odd. Winespring?
I have an idea.
Yeah, bring it on. What is it?
So in the short, they mentioned that the Ogiers raised the White Tower, and then we see later how they created, a boat with a tree. So the power being like the stone, they raised the stone and created the tower. So it's like 3 different types of power displayed potentially.
Maybe was that in this one or was that in the next one? The Ogier.
That was in the Ogier one, but
the Ogier raising the White Tower statement is in this one.
Yeah. So
but you see the tree section in the Ogier one.
Yeah, but the Ogier in the Ogier one, they actually mentioned that stone is just stone masonry. They can work at stone with their tools, but their real power is in trees because it's natural. It's got life. So I don't think that they actually raised it like with their singing like they do with trees. I just think that they raised it as in, you raise a building.
They built it.
Yeah.
So I think we can all agree that this is confusing.
Oh yeah.
So I think one thing I really appreciated from this one, other than just kind of the explanation that there are 2 different things, one of them tainted, one of them is tainted further up the stream, and so obviously the women can access the source or whatever with Saidar, no problem. The men can't. Was the flower bud thing. So people in my comments, and we've got a bit of a theme going this evening, were like, the women are supposed to use a flower bud to channel, and Moraine didn't even say that to Egwene, I don't think. And I honestly now I'm thinking, and I can't remember if she did or not. I don't think she did. She did the flower the water banks thing. I think she's like be guided, which calls back to episode 1. So I thought that was a good way to go because they're both used. The water, being in the banks of the river and being guided or whatever, and then the flower, they both get used. But we got to see the flower in the animated shorts, which I thought was nice. I think
maybe it just comes down to like they. Oh, The dog's going crazy. Maybe it just comes down to, like they say, depending on which ISI trains you, is, you get mannerisms from them or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to use the flower. The flower is just example
visual
of how,
visual.
it's a visual to help you realize, oh, the petal's opening, or whatever. You could use the water, you could use flour. I mean, you could use a popcorn kernel, I guess. I don't care. But yeah, so it's not
And it
needed.
pops!
It was just in the books. Yeah, it opens up bloop, just really quick. I mean, it can be anything, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't find that big a deal with the flower, the change in that.
Well, and your and everybody's flower is different. I think we learned that in the books. So, well, no, it's true. I think they talk about that in the books. It's like where somebody's flower is like a gentle lily or whatever, somebody else's is a rose with thorns. Okay, I know I read that. I'm not making that up. 100% that happened. Also, MalkierTalks. Thank you for the follow on Twitch.
I just realized I was just like, wait, I'm not even following you on Twitch. I don't know why that just occurred to me, but it did occur to me. I'm like, I'm going to fix that whilst I'm listening because I was like, yeah, why not?
More
If
shoddy.
you haven't, go and do that.
Yeah, thank you. More shoddy's backing me up, by the way. A blackthorn bush. Serenity can suck it. Okay, it's not just me. That's 100% something that happened in the books. I guess that's mild book spoilers, and I apologize if you were waiting to find out what kind of flower Nynaeve would imagine. But let's stop making fun of me. It's real in the books. Okay.
I'm laughing at you.
Super real.
It happened. Stop! It did. All right. So, does anybody else have any thoughts about the Saidar Saidin mystery stone, or we can move on to the fifth one?
I feel like there's supposed to be a follow-up short to this at some point.
A short number 4 part 2. I agree. There has to be.
For sure.
And it's just gonna be called
For
Stone
sure.
Explained.
What is stone? What do we mean?
Stone.
Stone.
Maybe they meant to do, because like the Stone of Tyr is power wrought, right? Or it was created with one power. Those spoilers. I mean, that's hardly plot spoilers. But
It's barely a Stone of Tear spoiler.
kind of, yeah. All right, it looks like Morshadi's got a theory about what stone means. We'll see what happens there. In the meantime, the next one is called the White Tower, right? So we get to find out about the Ajahs, basically, right? And kind of how it started. And Guy and I watched this morning, and I'm already forgetting because I had a whole work day, and I hung pictures behind me. And but I'm pretty sure that's what we found out, right? So, anybody have any thoughts about this one? Let's see. I liked the imagery a lot, and how we got to see the big murals or whatever.
The murals are cool. I've got pictures of some ladders or some stairs.
Some stairs. Let me see. What do we have?
In a pattern.
Oh yeah, there they are. Very cool architecture.
Yeah. The only reason I got this was because it was very similar in the fact that the stairs go down, they flat, then they go down the other way as to the Eye of the World. And how the stairs descended all the way around into the pit. Where the stairs went down to a platform, then went back down again, and they cut back and forth. So it was very similar in that aspect. Of course, this is wider and whatnot, but it was really cool. And this kind of goes to what we talked about episode 8, where the White Tower, present day, right, Showtime, is very reminiscent in architecture to the Age of Legends.
That's cool. That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
I like that. We talked about that, I think, on one of our
did.
recent episodes, that the architecture of the White Tower is oddly reminiscent of some things that we saw in that Age of Legends flashback. So that's neato skeeto. I like that a lot. Non-book readers' reactions said the Ajah paintings were dark and tough to see color sometimes. See, they were pretty dark. Like, I have one of I think the green Ajah, which was probably the biggest,
that was cool.
clear one. But it isn't the easiest. I mean, this one I think was probably the easiest one to see, but it was pretty. I think I would buy these prints. You know, if somebody made these as prints, I would probably buy them. Rob, you look like you're gonna say something. What do you got on your mind?
I was just going to be like, well, they're making merch, so this should be one of the things they sell. You know, like
Yeah.
I hope so.
for some reason I was going to call
Very
Wraith
true.
out on that, but Wraith doesn't do the merch part, I imagine. So
I imagine not.
we'll call out the Twitter account. Wheel of Time on Twitter. Come on, sort that out. So
Hey, just
Sort that
be
out,
careful. I
please.
tried to call Rafe out one day and I got jumped on by like 2 chats.
Really? I
You
call
know?
Wraith out all the time, but usually like, come on, Wraith. I know you got nothing better to do. You're watching this. Do this next time, and it's something stupid like I don't know, put in a Starbucks cup or something stupid. You know, like I do
Oh my
random
God.
stuff
Oh
when
my
I call Wraith out. You know, so
It's awesome. I will say that these images or the murals were amazing, and they captured each Aja perfectly.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
the blues, even the reds. I mean, every one. You had the browns with their books, the grays with all their diplomacy and all. It was just amazing.
Although
Every
the
single one of
reds,
them was cool.
can I just say the reds made like men look like zombies, and I don't have
They
a
did.
screenshot, but they
They did.
looked so horrible. Like it's like it prevents people from misusing the one power, and literally the people in front of them are like cringing and horrible.
Yeah.
And it's only men.
It was
It's
dramatic.
only men.
It did appear
Yeah.
only to be
They're
men.
preventing anybody from using the power incorrectly or inappropriately. It's only men in that painting.
I think it's
there
his
are-
wrong
there are
and
no women
dangerous
there.
use. Yeah.
Yeah, wrong and dangerous. So that would be, I mean, all men. In this case, yes, all men. But then also some women, you know, maybe. Magic is my. Oh yeah, let's. Okay, that's a good idea. Will rep your Aja in the chat. I'm a blue. So at least I tell myself
I'm green.
that.
I can't say without spoiling.
Haha.
Okay, I see you. Okay.
Very interesting.
And Tavern, what are you? I'm trying to remember.
Turquoise.
You're what?
Turquoise.
Turquoise. Of course.
Are we allowed to choose a non-color? I mean, if that's it, I'm purple still, obviously.
I'm a freaking tavern. It can be whatever color I want.
No.
Hey.
All right, fair enough. Fine.
Nice.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, there's so many Ajas that I like, but I think it's still blue.
Yeah.
I'm blue. I think that's me. I like the whatever.
I forgot to
Tell
bring
myself
something
that.
up earlier.
Bring it on.
When you had the picture of King Amenhotep,
I
we got
knew
into a
that.
discussion about other stuff, but it hit me when I was looking at that picture. I was like, what the fuck is it with all these leaders and
The feathers! I
and
noticed
freaking
that too!
Aguilar's got feathers, Amon's got feathers.
It's a really good look.
It's a
That's
cool
why.
look.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, let's go. Who doesn't want to wear that many feathers?
Just the
It's like
bird
you-
leaders.
You know,
Bird
someone's
leaders.
someone's making that outfit right now. I'm gonna wear that in the next convention I go to. You know, like
For
they're making
sure.
that.
Wait, that's a good
You
point.
need
More
you
shoddy.
need a
Just the
couple of
bird ones. Is
investors.
that that's the red eagle, right? Of Manetheren.
But they're not red.
Yeah.
What?
Well, yeah, but so is there any
Kidding, I'm
red in
joking.
this
I was-
whatsoever? Like
I
people are
was
dying. You know,
joking.
see blood.
Sorry.
You know.
He's
I
and
was
then
kidding.
what is
There are no red
right.
eagles.
Sorry, I just wanted to just. I mean, his cape is red.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, his
fair
cape
enough
is
then.
red.
He's a little bit like Birdman from Rick and Morty.
Literally,
Think
I thought the same
Right,
thing about
right?
Agelmar.
Okay.
Birdman.
It's funny. I've just finished a rewatch of Schitt's Creek, and now I'm just getting Moira vibes. The Crows movie, and she wears that out. She's got like she's dressed like she's growing black feathers or something. You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, animators, for this beautiful image.
The bird thing was the feathers thing was bugging me a little bit, but all right, we're good.
Well, now it makes sense. They're eagle feathers, or hopefully
Yes.
not. Hopefully they're eagle feathers, but they are shed. They are not from
Yeah.
dead eagles. Like we.
Manetheren, they don't have to have the reverence for eagles that we do. Is all I'm saying. You can kill eagles if they want.
I mean, there could be fake eagle
What?
feathers as well. So
And they're faux eagle feathers. That's what,
yeah,
That's the way. Yeah. We
they're power rot feathers.
the king of Geldon. God, why am I so bad at that? Geldon. Geldon.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's
Geldon.
beautiful.
I don't know.
say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, but their crest doesn't have any birds on it. It's 3 stars, isn't it?
Who?
Gildan was 3 stars,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, it was 3 stars.
Yeah.
On a
they don't
red
have any,
flag,
they don't have any
right?
feathers. They don't have birds over there.
Yeah.
Now,
Birds there.
the question is, when we get to Ilion,
They're bees.
they have pollen. Do they have pollen on their?
No, they should have little
They're
wings.
cloaks.
They should have like little
They're
fairy
cloaks.
wings instead of a
Their
cape.
cloaks.
Yeah.
Their
Look
cloaks
at
are
you.
pollen yellow.
Their
Are they not?
their
Their
cloaks were
cloaks
yellow.
are pollen yellow.
Yeah.
They're pollen yellow, like really, like a
Pollen.
yellow.
We are
yellow.
descending. We are
Okay,
not
anyway,
on track.
I like it.
This is a rabbit hole right here. I'll tell you
Okay.
that.
White Tower. We're on the White Tower.
Welcome to Will and Chill.
We are on the White Tower. We
Yeah.
talked about the murals. We talked about the architecture. Rob, is there anything else that stood out to you about this one?
No, just the tower felt very massive from the way it was styled in the
Yes.
short. Like, so
Yeah.
the scope and the scale of the tower came across really well. It's the only thing that hasn't been talked about that I would add. Yeah, I'm trying not to go back to bird talk.
Okay. I do have one.
Chat's
one
still
more
on it
thing
though.
this.
There are
They're
like
still going.
thanks to the YouTube delay, they're still on it. There's like smeared with honey and buzzes and spirals and what's going on. so-
Listen, we live for chat.
Yeah, bring it. I
I
love
love
this.
that.
I love the spiral.
One
Yeah.
last thing on the White Tower. animated
Where we
short.
spiral. Jessica,
So-
it's funny.
We were talking about them building the White Tower, right? I believe it's in this short that she mentions I was chosen as the Watcher of the Seals, the Flame of Tarvalon, the first Amerlin or the Amerlin seat, which goes back to that whole thing where I was saying where I think all of these shorts take place shortly after the breaking of the world when they're trying to rebuild and whatnot. Because I think the same female voice that has been narrating several of these animated shorts. Especially when she's talking to the novices and the accepted and talking about Saidin and Saidar and all that stuff, it's the same voice. I think that's the first Amerlin seat, which is really cool.
That is cool.
Because again, you actually see the White Tower still had what are those things? Damn it, what are they called when you have the building?
Oh,
scaffolding.
Scaffolding. Yeah, I
Thank
actually
you.
have that. Let's see.
Yeah, so there's still scaffolding, so they're still building it. So I think, and she talks about the different factions of Aes Sedai coming together under a common cause. So I think all of these shorts have that in common, that they're around the same time frame,
Yeah.
more or less, with the exception of the first one, which is the breaking of the world.
Random Noman calls out the call out to Dragonmount being there is cool. I thought the imagery on this one was beautiful. I agree, it's
amazing.
interesting that the White Tower had scaffolding because it's like clearly this is the beginning, which was neat. I love how they do Dragonmount here. I don't know, like how I pictured it as kind of like this otherworldly, like very skinny mountain that goes pretty much straight up, but I think this is way prettier. I know it doesn't like because they said like
Interesting.
it's like taller than anything you've ever seen. It's just the way it was described was this like absurdly tall, like in the clouds kind of a thing, but it doesn't have to be like warless straight up like I pictured. But I liked it so much that you'll see behind me I had a friend do like a shadow box of the White Tower in front of Dragonmount because I just really love the architecture that they chose for the White Tower, and then also the imagery of it being right in front of Dragonmount is pretty sick. And it's neat that they were like, we're here. It's a reminder of the dragon that he's coming back and all that stuff. So it was neat.
And the cool thing is anything that you see in these animated shorts that actually is still around for the actual shows is spot on. Like Dragonmount looks just like that when Matt and Rand stand on that precipice looking out over Tarvalon. They see Dragonmount in the background. The Amerlin seat's throne or seat is exactly the same. When you look at Lews Therin in the breaking of the world in the first episode, and you kind of see him looking in the sword, and you see his reflection, and you see his face, he looks very much like the character that we saw in episode 8. So they've done a really good job of connecting it all together with accuracy, which is really cool.
Yeah, you say that, and then we're gonna move on to the Ogier thing, and then it's gonna look a little different, just a little.
Listen, they didn't have hairstylists at this point.
That's fair. All right.
Ogier hairstylist is all I'm saying.
So the White Tower one I really liked, but last one, number 6, Ogier's Longing. It's okay. So actually, Sith guy asked, Manetheren is a little later than the White Tower. But it's cool that it's all kind of the same lecture series. Yeah. you know, I don't know what the timeline is there on like when the White Tower, the new whatever reformed. I don't know. I feel like that would be immediate.
I think they mentioned it. Didn't they mention that the White Tower didn't come to help Manetheren?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they were around 100%. I don't know, like, if they were around, like, a long time before, because Manetheren was there for a while before things went south.
That was 1,000 years after the breaking of the world, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because during the Trollic Wars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. All right, well, so presumably the White Tower happened before that. Yeah.
The White Tower.
It's my understanding that, well, I mean, they were Aes Sedai before anyways. And then they band together to chase down the men who could channel, so somewhere in there it happened. Okay, so I'm sure Google would tell you, because I'm not so good.
Yeah, let's bring up the Google window again.
Yeah, please. Let's do that. Okay. All right, so Ogier's longing. We got to find out what happens to Ogier whenever they're away from home for a while.
It's Siggy Poo.
I think it's... Whose cat was that?
And that's what they sound like when they experience the logging, everybody.
The sound effects of the Wheel and Jill show are top-notch.
Exactly. No expense
I was
spared.
Toby. Says hello.
Hi, Toby. Hi, Toby.
Toby is longing for some snuggles from
Yes.
Catnip. You want some catnip.
There we go.
For sure.
So, yeah, this was nice. We found out what happens to Ogier when they're away from home. They get sick. We saw the concept of, like, sung wood. So Ogier are excellent craftsmen, so we had this little boat that got made, which is really cute.
It was, like, totally weird for me.
Yeah, they just kind of, like, they just turn around. It was just like, and
There's a fucking boat.
Boat just drops out of the trunk of the tree, and I was like,
Yeah, that's not how I pictured. I pictured singing the wood. They would sing, and the branches would form into something, not just a fucking boat pops out of the side of a trunk.
Like giving birth to the boat.
And like the trunk didn't even like change shape or move or adjust or anything.
through.
It was just like it just slipped out. With like
It pooped a boat.
Well,
yeah,
you know
it pooped
what?
the boat. Yeah.
That's I guess, yeah, so that's kind of the way it was described, though. Like, think about it. Well, this has to go in the spoiler section. We see wood.
We'll talk about it later.
We see wood getting sung at a certain point, and from what I can tell, it just kind of came out of the tree's trunk. That's what I am remembering. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm remembering. I didn't expect it. The thing we saw being sung is not as intricate as this, so that is a little bit of a step up.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
anyway, so there's another thing that's a little interesting about this, and that is
there were a lot of Ogier singing at the same time, so that could have something. It's like a 3D printer.
Maybe.
It's like
a
3D printing a 3-tree printing.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we need to stop.
How long have we been talking?
God, Tavern, I'm gonna work on that. That's gonna be a tab joke there. That's brilliant. I love that.
Welcome.
Good creator.
Yes.
All right, so we were talking
that's
about
amazing.
things that are a little bit different than they are in the show, and I think one of the biggest things that people complain about aesthetic-wise from the show is that the Ogier did not have their ears. The notable, big, expressive ears, and in this they have like elf-like ears, kind of is what I could. They're like pointy and they stick out.
Nubbins.
Yeah.
Nubbins. That's not.
So I guess we didn't see Loyal's ears at all, as far as Hi, Kitty.
They showed the bottom of it. They showed
they?
the bottom parts of his ears,
But not the
like
top.
when we first met him. But they didn't really focus on them because I think they knew that they screwed us over. And so this is my honey cake. This is my honey cake wine.
Hamid was
I get
amazing.
it. I totally get it. I'm mad then too.
I'm curious. So Winespring has a honey cake thing. Tavern's got an ear thing. Kritter, what's your thing?
A thing that I keep bringing up? Do I have a thing?
Not hands. No, that's Winespring also.
Well, Winespring likes hand stuff. We already know that.
She likes hand stuff.
Okay, right.
Oh, wait. She said something on a... Oh, my God. She said something
Eye
said
drops.
something-
That's her thing.
No.
I
Oh,
dropped.
I have a thing. My thing is sharing personal information.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's-
okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
No.
dropped some wisdom. But
I-
have
I-
yet to. Yeah.
Personal anecdotes are a thing with me on almost every single
Nice.
stream. I go like in our
Love
tangents.
it.
I'm like, this reminds me of this, and then I tell you guys that I can't use eye drops because my eyes will not allow it, and then you guys
You
all
are-
know that
You're
about me.
Rachel from Friends in that case, then, are you?
I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Can she not use eye drops
That's
either?
right.
No, they had to pin her down to get, like.
Yeah,
put
she
eye
had
drops
issues
in,
with
yeah.
eye
Oh,
drops,
see,
that's
that's
right.
funny
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I described how I use them, and I don't, because literally I will like try and hold my eyes open while my husband tries to give the eye drops to me, and my eyes literally will be like they won't. So we've already been over this before, though. You guys don't need to know that about me. So, anyways, thankfully I almost never have to use eye drops, so it's
Nice.
it's
Oh,
a thing.
I feel like I need a thing now. So we've got like oversharing, ears,
What's your thing?
earplay, and then like hands and
Well,
honey cakes.
Hands honey.
We'll stick with ears, but my thing is really the whole Ogier thing.
The whole.
There were
Ogier.
several
Okay.
things. There were several things with the
Ogier.
Ogier, but yes, ears are a big one.
What's yours now, Rob?
Yeah. What's
What's
your
yours,
thing?
Rob?
Using British terms and not explaining them.
Yes.
So like
Like-
yeah,
like
like
next
next
weekend.
week. Yeah.
Next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend. Yeah, there we go.
That'll be an easy thing to maintain, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we've got more shoddy over here with the puns. So let's oversharing or
puns?
Ogier sharing. You know what? Honestly, those
Oh,
both
more
kind of
shoddy.
apply, right? Because the Ogier are known for their
Wow.
long-windedness.
Yeah.
Or Shoddy's my
This is
spirit
true.
chatter.
Nerdy Guns, tell us more.
Tell us more. Yes.
If I think of something, I will tell you. If anything relates. Okay.
All right.
I've come
So-
Tavern. I've worked out that joke, by the way. So
Let's hear it.
I'm
Can we?
gonna say-
Can we
No,
get
no,
it?
no, 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 no. It's going to be a special one.
For your contest.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, it'll be too late for the contest.
We'll be
but,
there.
Okay.
Fine. Fair enough. Fair
I want to
enough.
hear it at some point.
Well, it'll be on
I'll tweet
Twitter.
it out,
Yeah,
no.
it'll be on
I'll-
Twitter.
Yeah, yeah.
Hashtag
It's-
Tam jokes, right? That's the
It's
hashtag.
going to be that is the hashtag Tam jokes, and it's going to be tomorrow's joke. So
All right. Cool. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can't wait to see it.
and that's tomorrow, your tomorrow, not my tomorrow, because my tomorrow is actually your day after tomorrow.
Okay. I'm so fucking confused.
Stop. We're done with that.
Right? Oh my gosh, because it's like what is it now? Like 2:30
It
your
is-
time or something?
It's 2:42 in the morning for me.
Okay, yeah. We need to get into the
I will
spoiler
give you a
section.
hamburger today.
It'll
We have
be today's Tam joke for me, but tomorrow for everyone else in America. So you know.
Oh,
excellent.
anyways.
Actually, it'll probably be 2 days from now for us, right? Because
yes.
yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
why are
we don't need to
still
do
trying
this.
To freaking mess with my brain.
You're already 6 hours behind me. What do you mean 2 days?
5 hours.
Well, it depends, I guess, on when your jokes come out. Do they come out in the morning?
Yes. Yeah, they come out in the morning time in
I'll
America.
right,
Yeah.
it'll be tomorrow. My bad. Okay, we got to get into spoiler section.
The
Otherwise,
Ogier.
I'm
Okay, yeah,
otherwise
we're done with the Ogier.
we're
Yeah.
never gonna get them. So we're throwing up the spoiler warning. Everyone, be aware if you have not read all the books. You are
You're setting up.
You didn't have to rush into spoilers for me. I would have hung around a bit longer. To
You know,
be honest.
while you're doing a spoiler thing, one thing from the last animated, there was a book that had a map, and I got a shot of that.
Oh yeah, I got you. Let's
So-
do this.
That map is basically Eastern Randland, all right, the one on the right page.
Uh-huh.
So I was looking at the maps we have, that you can find online. So the only big difference is if you look on the left page, along the river, there's 4 dots. That's not on Randland maps, right, or regular Wheel of Time maps. And then if you look on the right side, you'll see dots scattered around. I think that shows steadings.
Oh, that's...
I think those dots are steadings.
Oh, like the circles?
The little black dots. Yeah. So if you look on the left page, you have the smaller map with the writing above it. You see the squiggly line, and there's 4 dots next to it on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't towns or anything like that. And so the big map on the right actually shows Camelin and Carrion and Tarvalon. But if you look out in the wilderness or outside of the big cities, you'll see circles just like those, just scattered all over the place. And I think they might be steadings, is what I'm thinking.
Fascinating.
It's an Ogier book. I would think he would have where the steadings are, so he could make his way to them if he needs to.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would
It's a
think.
great point.
Anyways, that's just a thought.
It really could
Really
be.
good catch.
Also, there's like,
Yeah.
other than the tiny pinprick dots, there's like little circles. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell are the circles? Unless they're like towns, and I'm just missing it.
It's that or waygates.
Or well, the waygates are all outside the steading, right?
They are, but I mean, depending on what time this is, when did the ways get painted?
Well,
Did
I
that
don't
happen?
know.
Trolloc Wars?
I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
I
Anyways,
use the
spoilers.
companion
All right.
for things like this. I can't
Yeah.
remember. All right, so we're throwing up the
Here's
spoilers.
So I mentioned the companion. Okay. What am I looking up? When the
yeah.
ways
Oh
were
my
formed.
God.
When the ways were formed. Yeah.
Yeah, the ways. No, when they were corrupted.
Sure.
Oh, when they were
The
corrupted.
ways were corrupted. What was that?
I think we just got
Somebody
something.
channeling? Was somebody channeling?
Okay. So,
Spoilers.
yeah, we're in the spoiler section now firmly. If you haven't read all the books, proceed at your own risk. There's something at the very end of A Memory of Light that we are going to talk about. So get the
Here we go.
hell out of here. If you don't want to be
Yeah.
spoiled on that. Super happy that you were here. Love it. Very much appreciate your presence, but I do not want to spoil you on this thing because it is a huge thing. So leave. Okay. So, we're going to hop around. We don't have to go episode by episode here, I don't think. The thing I want to talk about is the fact that I think Queen Eldrine's, like, blowout, it reminds me so much of Egwene. I do, like, what? Her her burnout.
You're right.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
Explosion.
how Egwene ended. You know what I mean? She
Yeah,
explodes
for sure.
in light. They call her, the Weave and her station, all the Flame of Tarvalon. And this is what it looked like in my head, honestly. So I got to see essentially what happened in A Memory of Light to Egwene. Obviously, she was like, out in the fields or like on a cliff or some shit, like, so this is in a building, but otherwise, like, visually it's a lot like what I expected. So yeah, that's what I thought of in this one. Anybody else have any spoiler things they want to talk about? Oh, actually, Rob, did you figure out when the waves were created, or were you not
No, it
actually
doesn't.
looking?
No, when they went dark, it didn't actually say in the companion when they went dark. So
I thought it was.
Yes.
I want to say, for whatever reason, it sticks in my head that it happened during the Trolloc Wars. They had to stop using them.
Maybe.
that sounds about right. Like maybe like because one of the
why.
suggested sort of creation reasons for the Black Wind is that it was something used in the War of and just sort of like got stuck in
War
the
of
ways.
Shadows?
Or got put in, from War of Shadows. Yeah, something that got put in the ways or like hidden away or stuck in the ways. Although it then got confirmed later on that it is because of the taint on Saidin. But yeah. So that
Interesting.
sounds about right, actually. That's kind of when it went dark.
Oh, right. Okay.
So-
Somebody mentioned. Thank you for the reminder, Sith guy. The Warder short. I wanted to see the frickin' fight. The quarterstaff, the only
Yes.
person to ever defeat the greatest warder in the world was like a kid with a quarterstaff, right? And so I'm over here like, this is the kid, right?
Oh, it was a farmer with a quarterstaff.
Well,
they said.
right.
Yeah.
So some rando, someone who shouldn't
Rando.
have, just some rando, beat it with a quarterstaff. And so I'm like, let's go. When I saw this, I thought the kid was the farmer, whatever. I'm like expecting him to like come up and challenge the guy or whatever, some stupid thing.
Yes.
And then I didn't get to see any of that. I wanted to see it so bad.
Well, if I remember the short correctly,
I thought you were going somewhere else with this, to be honest.
Well, what?
so if-
Okay. Well, I'm curious.
Oh,
But Tavern,
I
remember
wonder
this-
where. Yeah.
if I remember the short correctly, the kid that he's standing next to right here did just get smacked with the quarterstaff. So he's telling the story of the greatest warder, and then they show the greatest warder getting smacked with a quarterstaff in the retelling of the story. But it's like a split second, and I wrote this down because I thought it was interesting. He said the greatest warder 10,000 battles or won 10,000 battles and lost only one.
yeah.
Fought 10,000 battles and lost only one to a farmer with a quarterstaff. So he's basically telling him,
wanna
don't feel
see
bad. Don't feel bad that you just got knocked out by a quarterstaff. You have to respect the person, not the weapon. What bothered me about this is that the greatest warder, his name was freaking Jerome.
Jerome Gaidin.
Jerome Gaidin, I'm like, seriously? You couldn't come up with a cooler name? No offense to Jerome's out there, but you couldn't come up with a cooler freaking name than Jerome Gaidin. That's what we got. Come on.
Jerome.
I was kind of upset about Jerome.
Maybe they wanted to, like, you know, give it to a casual name kind of person. Or why does the greatest warder of all time need a dramatic or fancy
they
name?
Called him Jack then.
I mean, why couldn't he be? Why can't Bob be the greatest warder of all time? So
could. I would have been okay with Bob.
So Drab Shadow says that the ways began to deteriorate during the War of 100 Years. You know what's funny? I was going to say that, but then I was like, wait, is the War of 100 Years a real war? And then will I sound stupid? And I think it's both. So I didn't say it because I didn't want to sound stupid.
No.
You were saying a job.
Yeah, Jessica Sadai in chat said I could look up Machin Shin, and I did. And it just said it's some people believe it was a remnant from the War of Shadows, and it hid in the ways near the end of that, and then got stuck and couldn't get back out. So,
is that how you spell Jerome?
I like that spelling too.
That's a good spelling.
Like
yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with that name then.
That is an awesome spelling. I'm totally for it. Oh my gosh.
So I honestly thought that this, when you were like, this is, we didn't get what we should have gotten. I thought you were talking about this should have been some kind of play on Matt fighting Gowan.
It is what she's saying.
Yeah. No, I want to get the Matt fighting Gowan and Galad.
Okay.
No.
Because you were like, just some farm boy. We're in the. I thought we're in the spoiler section. Why are you going to say
Very
Matt?
specific
we want the Matt fight from the books.
I need the Matt fight from the books IRL. I need the character. I need Donal. I need the Donal to fight Gowan and Galad in the show. This would have been yet another tease, but a good tease for that. Mm-hmm. Like, the greatest warder ever being defeated by a guy with a quarterstaff, some rando, as we've established, and then next season, presumably, because it sounds like we're gonna get episode or book 3 Matt, because he's in Tarvalin or whatever. Then we get Matt fighting Galad and Gowan. I mean, fingers crossed. I hope we get that. Yeah. I hope we get that.
I think I brought up a good point. Just she says that she hopes that we get the 100 companion short. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would really like to see that. Although I'm excited to see, since we're full spoilers, I'm excited to see Falme or Falme, whatever. However you want to say it.
Yeah, however you want to say it.
Falma.
Except it's Falma, apparently.
According to Michael and Kate, yes.
No, now you see, I have interviewed Michael and Kate, and the discussion of pronunciation obviously came up.
Obviously.
And,
pronunciation. That was good too. That was very good.
And the outlook, particularly Kate, but the outlook they have is, do you know what? Reading a story is a very personal and singular thing. When you read a story, it's your experience that is, bringing to life in your mind, the story that you're reading. So regardless how you say something or how you take something or how you view it, that doesn't take away from anyone else's experience, and their experience doesn't take away from your experience, and that translates onto pronunciation as well. So say it how you want to say it. As long as people understand what you're saying, it's still fine.
Okay, so I agree. I love that. And so film, I can't wait for film.
If Winespring and Kritter, if I just destroyed the rest of the time he says film, I apologize.
Thank you for that.
I've never actually said film. I've never said film before. Anyways, I always called it Falme in my head when I was reading. But Falme works too. I want to see that. I want to see the horn. I want to see the clouds. I want to see the companions riding, through the mist. I want to see all of that shit. I have a feeling they're not going to give us that. I don't think they're going to give us it.
I mean, I feel like we didn't get an epic sword fight in season 1 because we're going to get an epic sword fight in season 2. That's my
I think we're going to get. I think
you're right,
the Order of the Phoenix showing up at the Ministry of Magic. I think that's what we're going to get.
Sorry, I'm like, it's reversed.
White smoke and people showing up.
I'm just thinking of some of the memes that went around, and especially from episode 1, where you've got like the one of Moraine just like sweeping her hands round, and suddenly at the bottom of the screen it says Expelliarmus, and then you've got you've got Lan, where he's done like that head turn thing, and he's got that shocked look on his face, and he's like, Moraine, wrong franchise,
I didn't see that one.
I loved them. I loved them all.
I have to see that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get Falma in all of its
We need
glory.
some fresh memes.
Especially
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's how sort of the word of the Dragon Reborn starts to spread, right? Like there's pictures of Rand in the sky, like being spread throughout like Randland. So I
Okay,
think
so
it's happening.
how do you think? And we're going to speculate now. How do you think he gets there? Because we see him heading east, presumably toward Dragonspine, I guess, toward the El Waste, leaving the Blight in that direction,
Yeah,
opposite of where they came from.
sure.
So, and you can't get farther, I don't think. Well, unless you're in like here, and even then, I mean, you really can't get farther from Falma than where he's at. So
Basically.
that's a long ass freaking trip to be making through season
I
2,
mean,
unless
in book 1 we got an accidental traveling. we could get that in season 2. Like I don't know. Rand could get also the stone.
It's true.
What the fuck?
Sangro.
Portal stones?
The portal stones.
Oh, the
Thank
portal
you.
stones.
You knew, Rob. You
Yeah,
knew.
the one-
Me and you.
Okay, the ones from book 2, right?
I made up for it there because when you said in book 1 we got an accidental traveling, my brain went, wait, we didn't get an accidental traveling in the show. What are you talking about? Because I just put season 1 instead of book 1, so
Yeah.
I redeemed myself with portal stone. there. It's
You did,
okay.
yeah. So I mean, we do have like a long distance portal. We'll be fine. I think we're gonna end up there. We got the Shan-Chan coming in. Like, there's a lot of foreshadowing. Egwene's gonna get captured. I think we're gonna get like a reuniting or almost like a tease. Like, oh, we're about to get them together again, and then they're not gonna get together again. So these are my.
I don't think we're getting that.
Megan, we're pretty sure Megan's screwed, right?
You don't?
Nope.
Have it?
I don't think we're getting that whole mist and the companions and the heroes of the Hornsari and the Shan-Chen and that. I don't think.
I
we're
think
getting
it's
that.
not going to play out the way we think.
Nope, I don't think we're getting
Like
that. I
too
think he's
cheesy
going-
looking?
He's going straight to the waste, and that's the rest. That's his journey now. Like, we'll get something with the Shan-Chen. Obviously, you don't tidal wave the beach with one kid in it just to end the season for fun. They're in season 2 heavily, but I don't think we're gonna get that ending. I don't think that's
So-
gonna happen.
He has been skipping repetitive things for the most part. Like, for example, Nynaeve shows up at Bear Leon, right, in the books, and then she catches Lan and Moraine after Shadar Logoth, right? She catches up to him. They skip the whole Bear Leon thing altogether. So if the Shan-Chen basically get pushed back at Falma, right? Then they come back, he might just skip Falma altogether and go straight to the second time they attack. They come back.
I think they're saving that
It's a
that
bigger battle.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
bigger
saving.
battle.
They're saving that battle for later on. Like, bring the I don't think they'll bring the heroes in early. I think they'll be brought in much later.
I don't know.
To keep
Disagreed.
the mystery.
I feel like if Rand goes to the Aiel Waste
Disagree.
now, then what is he gonna lead the Aiel to the Stone of Tyr? Like, let's do now that I'm your Karn, we're gonna go to the Stone of Tyr to get Kalendor. Like, I guess that could work. But then we're not gonna get Matt in the Waste, which is a tragedy. Like, it would be a tragedy because him in Ruidion is fabulous. Egwene in the Waste, like, how's she gonna get there? She needs to train with the Wise Ones for a lot of her stuff.
Yes.
So
Maybe that's it. Instead of all ending up at Farm A or ending up at the Stone, they all end up in the Waste instead, and then later on we go to the Stone or something happens, or like, I don't know.
maybe.
Like, there's a lot of
That's
teasing
it.
about his heritage throughout the show, and I don't know. He's run off by himself. I think he right. I'm gonna go off somewhere where I guarantee to not know anybody and might learn a little bit about myself in the process.
Yeah, and they've already established they don't have a,
Self-discovery.
they've already established they don't have a problem moving things around. Like the Horn of Valere wasn't at the Eye of the World. The Green Man wasn't at the Eye of the World.
I mean, but all of that was like, the
I don't have
Green
an issue
Man
with-
was like Tom Bombadil. The Horn of Valier literally moved
Yeah.
like 200 meters.
I'm not
Too far, Critter.
I mean-
Gosh.
I'm not complaining. Listen, I'm not saying that the show wasn't good. I love the show.
I
I'm
know
just
you're not
that
We know you do
There,
that.
there
We know.
are changes that have happened where I can see them making more changes of that nature, in which Kalendor could be in Ruiden. Might just move Kalendor to Ruin. Who knows?
You could.
Ooh.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, now that's got my head going. I like that
Oh my
idea.
gosh.
Kritter does not
Come up
like
with-
that
I
idea.
come up with
I
one
would
of these.
miss
Tavern
the,
brings it.
the Stone of
I come
Tear
up
is
with this, like,
iconic.
once an episode, they all look at me like I'm retarded.
No, dude, don't say that. No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
Not that.
that is
Not
not
that.
not that. That's not because like we first of all, Stone of Tear, they meet in the World of Dreams in the Stone of Tear. It's iconic imagery. Like think about Dragon Reborn. Like here I am. I'm always the one that's like, oh, the show can do whatever the hell it wants as long as it like follows the overall arc. But here I'm like, if you get rid of the Stone of Tear, there's a lot of things that change. Like first of all, you don't get the like Aiel taking the stone, which is awesome and cool and like our first
cool.
introduction to the Aiel's like assault
Yeah.
tactics. Matt breaks into the stone, which is like peak comedy. Because he's like he freaking lights like he blows it up like literally, which is like iconic. And then he
does what they
We
say
need
can't be
that,
done.
Matt. Yeah.
we
need
we
those
need that
moments.
Matt, and so I'll miss that if it doesn't happen. Also, like him rescuing the girls and then them being like, like whatever, we don't need you. We were about to get out anyway.
You could
We
go
were
to the
basically
waste
done.
first and then go to the stone afterwards.
Well, that's
like,
what I'm
you know,
saying.
but-
Like,
yeah,
if he
Yeah.
goes to the waste first, then I could kind of see him being like, instead of going to Carian, we're gonna go to Tyr to take Kalendor because I one time read the prophecies of the dragon and that's what I'm supposed to do. Fine, I would allow that. If they get rid of the Stone of Tyr entirely, which they won't because we saw it in the Swan cold open,
we did. This is true. Yeah.
then
Was it there?
yeah, it was like
Yeah,
in
it
the
was. Yeah, it was in the
background.
back. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
So he goes to the
I
waste
looked,
to
I
get a little
didn't
bit of
see it.
family history, and then gets sucked back in somehow. Like I don't know, they kick him out or throw him out or something.
He
and
was-
then he ends up.
Or he's captured, and then he does something heroic, and then they train him in their ways of fighting,
Well, that's
and he
gonna take a
becomes
long
one of them. Oh no, wait, that's Boba Fett.
time. That's Boba Fett.
Sorry.
Wait,
spoilers
spoilers,
for
I haven't
Boba
watched that.
Fett. Like I haven't either.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
No.
But God,
I just I
Sorry, I gotta go. Like, sorry. You know.
Full
I mean,
spoilers.
jeez.
We said full spoilers.
full spoilers
for every
everything.
show ever made.
Everything.
Oh, I don't know if I've got that. One.
Yeah. There's
Right. Okay, fine. I don't know. Gandalf dies. So they have.
What happened?
What?
Wait.
Who died?
I was totally missing that. Yeah, he does die, doesn't he? And then he comes back as Gandalf the White instead. So
Oh,
you know.
I see.
Yeah.
I guess everybody probably knows that. I was just like,
But the
I'm
way
sorry.
it was like, wait, is that true? I'm like, yeah, it is. No, wait, am I right? You know, when you doubt yourself. No, he does. You know.
Oh, I doubt myself literally every day, all the time. So yeah, no, I
You got me going, and I was like, wait, am I making shit up?
Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I'm expecting if we're predicting what's gonna happen, I think we're gonna get Falma and like as like a mid-season finale. Like I think it's not even gonna be all of it, and then we're gonna make it to Tyr by the end of season 2. Calling it.
Wow.
And I don't know how it's gonna happen. That's my guess. And then season 3 is gonna be all about the Aiel. They're gonna be in the waste, and it's gonna be basically books 4 and 5. You heard it here first.
Wow.
So,
I mean, there's.
And that'll be February 2023.
yes,
Yeah.
for season 3.
Oh, okay, not season 2.
For season.
Oh.
I think they're going to the waste first. I definitely think they're going to the waste.
I do love I love the Aiel. If we get
There's-
early Aiel, I'll be happy as long as we still get Stone Tier. Rob, you were saying.
There's some similarities between the ending of book 2 and book 3. It's like, coming together, battles, Ishii dying again and again
And again.
and again. There's a lot of themes that just repeat. It's different locations and slightly, different armies, and the second time round in the stone, the girls are captured by the Black Ogier, whereas in Fame they're captured by the Shanshan. Like, there's a lot of repetitions of themes. So to have it like a mid-season kind of high, and then carry on the season and kind of do it again at the stone, I don't know. That seems like too much. Big
Been doing
locations. I don't know.
They did that this season. With how many times did somebody die and come back to life? How many times did somebody get stabbed through the throat or the mouth or from behind?
Well, okay,
they repeated a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, but they weren't like massive like battles or something like that.
Oh,
Episode
were-
4. Episode 4 was the battle. It was the we got Logain awesome channeling, and then we got Nynaeve's giant Super Saiyan thing with the battle with Logain's army. That was a battle.
That's the other.
It's not as big. It's not as big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the Farme is a giant battle type thing. We've got armies on two sides, like full armies, not like 6 Aes Sedai and then like a remnant of an army type thing.
True.
We don't have 5 untrained women and a battle of an army of Trollocs.
True.
That they were very different in terms of numbers and size and just the way they were delivered on screen. And then Farme and the Stone of Tyr, they're huge scenes. So I think that's
they are big scenes.
I just think it's too much for one season.
When you say the 2 armies, you're talking about at Falme. You're talking about the Shanshan and
White
the
Cloaks.
children.
Yeah,
The children,
and
right?
and
Right.
the Heroes of the Horn. Yeah,
And the heroes come in, right.
yeah. So
They
you got
kinda
like
did the
was it like
same-
1,000 children, 100 heroes, and then however many Shanshan there were.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Even that battle at episode 4 and the battle at episode 8, right, was repetitive as well. You had a fight going on and a conversation happening at the same time. So you had the Aes Sedai fighting off Logain's followers and Moraine having a conversation with Logain. You had the Trollocs attacking Tarwin's Gap and the 5 untrained channelers, and Rand having a conversation with the Dark One, in quotations.
no, I get that, and I agree.
Yeah,
with that.
they're
I'm
very
just saying,
repetitive.
but the scope of those 2 events for the end of book 2 and book
They're not
3,
as big, right? Correct.
Yeah, exactly. The size of those 2 events that we've had in season 1 compared to the size of those events for the end of book 2 and book 3, very, very different. And I think that's a huge amount to then build up and pack into 4 episodes at a time.
It's
so
big.
I just don't think
It is.
I don't
it's a
think
lot.
I think it would do a disservice to do it. I don't mind, the repetition is fine, but there's not a big enough budget in season 2 to do justice to both those scenes. That's kind of where I'm going.
No, I agree. I agree
fair.
completely. Yeah.
I hate that that's a factor, but I think
Yeah.
there's a really solid point to why my theory might not pan out. I hope it does. I honestly, I think
it would
there's
be
a
great
way.
if they did. Yeah.
I think there's a way to spin the Stone of Tyr where it's not like too intense, as far as like it's kind of claustrophobic in the sense that like the Aiel are like kind of bombarding, so you've got like rooftop, shenanigans, and then they get in, and then
Rooftop
isn't that the one? I'm trying to remember. Isn't that the one where there's like Trollocs roaming the halls, and then Rand does the giant tornado of fire? Or is that later?
That was the
A hole?
wait, no, was that after Kalendor?
That's what I'm saying.
He first,
Like there's
I'm
a
trying to think when he first took the stone. I think that's when the Trollocs showed up, and he basically did that lightning thing. Or
yeah,
fire
the
or
like
whatever throughout
crazy
the
like
halls.
that was book 3, right?
Yeah, that's how he took the stone.
Yeah. Okay.
And everybody basically followed him after that because he basically saved everybody.
Yeah. So part of me's like, is that possible to like? Oh, that's gonna be pure CGI basically. Like it's Trollocs and fire. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You know what? We're pretty much at the end of our rope. Did anybody have any last spoiler comments before we bail?
No.
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 We're just discussing the heater in chat.
Yeah, no, I know. I heard him hit the heater, and now I feel bad for the heater.
I had to
Tavern,
spank
find
it.
your camera.
I told her the camera's right there. Look.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a tag on it so I don't lose it again.
Well, if there was anything else,
That's the punchline for the show, isn't it? So like Wheel and Chill, the show where people overshare, we gripe about honey cakes. Tavern can't find his camera.
Let's rip on each other.
Listen, we have some pet peeves. We have honey cakes. We have Ogier. I can't find my goddamn camera, and apparently I abused my heater.
you like to keep your face very warm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have Winespring who likes hand stuff.
Yes.
And Kritter likes to tell us things about herself.
Personal
that
stories.
No sane person would ever admit to somebody else.
I don't
public
mind.
forum.
I'm not embarrassed at all.
Very nice.
Not embarrassed. Happy. Happy
Don't
to
be.
share.
Never be.
All right, so we got to get out of here so that Rob with MalkierTalks can go to sleep because it is now past 3 a.m. for our special guest.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for staying up, man. Appreciate it. You're amazing.
No, this has been a blast. I've really enjoyed
Thank you.
it. So.
You're super fun.
Yeah, seriously, this is really fun. Thank you all in chat for being here. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, like the stream if you don't mind before you get out of here. It really helps with the algorithm. And all of our information, all the deets for Winespring and Tavern and Rob and me are in the description on YouTube. So go check it out. Follow, give us some follows, give us some likes and all that stuff on all of our other platforms if you don't mind. Yeah. And anybody else have anything before we sign off? No? Everybody good? Okay, just it sounded like Tavern was gonna say something. He's gonna stay warm on his heater. Okay, thank you all. This is amazing. Appreciate it.